when we think about traditional language, right? From my standpoint, from speech and language standpoint, from anyone who studies language, this is the building blocks, right? Sugars learn sounds. When they are young, they're learning sounds. When they're in your belly, they are listening and hearing sounds. That doesn't mean that a sugar who's hyperlexic doesn't hear the sounds. Of course they hear the sounds. But when we're talking about the building blocks of language specifically, sugar is learning and hearing sounds. Then they relate those sounds to words. They put this stuff into context. Then they put those words into action. Then they start saying it in alignment with what they're doing, right? And so all of these things happen in alignment with traditional language. And then it becomes more complex because they add to the vocabulary and different kind of word and language forms come along, and it just continues to build. It's like a puzzle. It's a stair step. One thing happens, the next thing happens, the next thing happens. Our little sugars who are hyperlexic, their language learning is completely different. It ain't the same. They rely on memory. That's why they're able to decode. They look at the text, and there's something about that text or that letter or that number, and they're able to associate and memorize what it is and put sound to it. Interesting, right? And so they skip all the babas and the mamas and they go straight for the gusto. They're cat, but they see it on paper, or they see it in context, or they see the stop sign, or they see the license plate, or they see whatever, and they use their memory to learn language. There is no learning sounds. There is no learning sounds to putting sounds into words. There is no putting it into action. It's this abstract thing that they're able to decode.